Welcome to the Black Educated Tea Podcast. I'm your host, Makeda Marie, and today's topic is acne. But as always, before we get into the tea, let's get into the tea. So, I am actually drinking a Goddess tea today by Oasis Vibe, and oh my god, this tea is absolutely amazing. So, this tea has elderberry in it, it has dandelion in it, it has motherwort in it, it has a lot of great benefits in it for a goddess. I mean, of course. So the tea is really good, and I'm really talking about this tea today because it has really been helpful for my acne. So that is why I'm drinking this tea today. And so I just really suggest and I really recommend that you all definitely go try the Goddess Tea by Oasis Vibes. It is absolutely amazing. So let's get on this topic about acne. So I am a acne sufferer. Since I have been a teenager, I have always had spurts of just, my acne. It would, mostly my jawline, which I definitely knew was hormonal. So I always just suffered from acne since probably about 13 years old. And it would go away, come back, go away, come back. And I've always tried so many different things, especially externally. And a lot of things with acne as I got older and I started to realize they're more internally. There are, of course, environmental factors and things on the outside that do influence your acne. But for me, I started to realize it was more internally. So it was the things that I was consuming. And also stress. Stress is also another factor that will definitely trigger your acne. And so for this year, I think my acne hit its worst. Because I would usually just get acne like right in my jawline and a couple of bumps here and there, but I had a major breakout. It was like everywhere, all on my chest. It was just everywhere. My face had never broken out that bad. And because usually I can maintain it with just buy some products or get a chemical peel, and that would really help. I mean, after like several chemical peels and even drinking more water, even trying to eat better, my face was still breaking out like crazy. So I had to start to narrow it down to what it may have been. And so I started drinking way more water than I would normally drink. I started consuming more green vegetables, spinach and kale and pineapples and strawberries. So I started doing more fruits and vegetables. I started exercising more, but my face was still breaking out. I was like, okay, I'm doing everything right. So why is my face still breaking out and still getting worse? So it'd be different, if I would have little bumps here and there, but it was still getting worse. And on top of chemical peels and me eating right and drinking more water and trying to get more rest. I'm not going to say I was completely getting more rest, but trying to get more rest. And my face was still breaking out, and I just did not understand why. And I narrowed it down to just stress. So all of these other things were really beneficial because I needed to eat better. I needed to consume more water. I definitely needed to get more rest, get more sleep. But I started realizing that it may have just been stress. And on top of stress, and just think, if you're already stressing, you're not eating right, you're not drinking enough water, just imagine like how terrible my face was. So when I really started to just figure out what my trigger was for my acne, and I realized it was stress. So when I started to just release a lot of the stress, and for me, I just have to be very, transparent and open and honest with you all. For me, releasing a lot of the stress was just crying. So I just had these bolts and spurts of just crying. I was just releasing a lot of the things that I just had bottled in and things that I was just holding in. And as I started to cry and release these things, my face started to improve. And I was like, I'm spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on all of these topical ingredients, trying to get my face to improve. And I was like, all I have to do is have a good cry and just let it out and just release it. And my face was like, it was like a breath of fresh air from my face. And so I know now that a lot of external and internal things actually influence, or affect my face in so many ways. And so just maintaining my stress the best way I can and knowing how to release it, but still making sure that I'm consuming the things that I need to consume. And then another thing I want to point out too, and this just may be for my particular skin, but I was spending so much money on these major brands and they were not working. And I started to purchase the CeraVe, however you want to say it, very inexpensive products. Very inexpensive. But it helped tremendously on my face. I mean, here I am, I'm spending $80, $90, $100 for just a little small tube of cream, of vitamin C cream, and then I'll turn around and pay another $100, $120 for the facial wash, and then, for the serum. So I'm paying all of this money. Just imagine, I've spent thousands of dollars over the years just on products, and none of them seem to work. Or some would work for a little bit, then I would have a major breakout, and I would still, continue to try to use it, and my face just would not clear up, so I would switch up to another product. So then I would end up paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for another product, just making sure I had everything that their line could offer. And then my face would do okay for a little while, but then it'll break back out again. And so I was like, you know what? I said, let me try something that's really inexpensive and see how my face reacts to it. And sure enough, because I've tried Cetaphil in the past, and it was pretty good. It is really similar to CeraVe. And so I started a couple of months ago to use it. And it took a minute for my face to adjust because I had been using so many other products before that it did take a minute for my face to adjust to it. But after I kept using it, I was like, wow, this is really working on my face. I mean, I started to have, less dryness and less redness, and because sometimes my skin can be really dry, sometimes it can be really oily, so I have combination skin. But I started buying these products, $10 for the facial wash and $10 for the cream and the moisturizer and the different serums and stuff. And I was like, come on, man, I was paying $10, $20 compared to, hundreds of dollars. So you have to really find the products that actually do work for you. And it's not always the expensive products. It is not, because it can be a key ingredient in that expensive product that your face just does not like. So try different products if you are suffering from acne. Try different products, see what really works for you, because CeraVe may not work for everybody. It just may not. But for me, I got tired of spending all this money on all these different products, and I was like, I would buy it and I would try to give it a chance. I would give it a couple of months and I'm like, this is just not working. I'm paying all this money and I'm not getting the results that I want to see. So if you are suffering from acne, start keeping a journal on what you're doing daily to see what may be triggering your acne. And for me, it was definitely internal and externally, because there are some things in the environment that I know for sure, because I have really bad allergies. So I know there's some, environmental factors that were really, in having me to have these breakouts. But for me, as I started to keep my journal and as I started to just look at what I was doing throughout the day. So I would look at, okay, I wake up in the morning and what am I doing? Am I washing my face a particular way? Am I drinking water first thing when I wake up? What am I even washing my face with? What about my pillowcase? Is it really, the best option for my skin? So it's just things like that you start to think about when you really suffer from acne. So you have to really start pinpointing some things. How much things are you bottling in? How stressed are you? What kind of foods are you consuming? Are there particularly fried foods, or, are you doing baked foods? Are you doing sweets, or are you doing more fruits and vegetables? So what are you consuming as well? How much water are you intaking? Because all of those things really do influence or can, affect your acne in a good or a bad way. And so I had got to a point, I was like, I am too old to still be suffering from acne. So I had to figure out what was making my acne it had never been that bad. It had never been that bad. Like I said, I would just get, some in the jawline, typical, but when it just started getting all over my face and my chest, I was like, oh no, I was like, I have to figure out what's going on here. And I realized it definitely was stress. And it was, foods I was consuming as well. And then it was, stress, rest, and the foods that I was consuming. So as I started to let go of a lot of that stress, just releasing it. When I started to drink more water and when I started to eat better, I saw improvements, with my skin as well as other things as well. And then the goddess tea. There is so much in that tea that not only just helped my acne, it helped me to lose weight. And I'm going to also do a continuation on my weight loss, so you all stay tuned for that. But it really has, because I've been doing the goddess tea for about 2 months now. And it has a lot of really, really good benefits in it. It helps me sleep better. It helps me to relax. I'm actually, having really good dreams. It helped me to, just provides a lot of clarity. And like I say, skin purposes, it just has so many different benefits in it. So for the past 2 months, I've been doing that goddess tea. And I'm actually going to show you all how I do it as well, because I do probably like, I have a really big jug, so it's probably like 36 to 40 ounces of tea that I'm drinking, and I brew it overnight, let it sit, and then the next day I actually just drink it throughout the day. And I mean, it just has a lot of really great benefits in it. So I'm going to share with you all how I do that goddess tea and how it has really changed my life, I could say. It really has, because I'm a tea drinker, and some of the teas that is in that goddess tea I hadn't consumed before, and I don't know why, because I should have been consuming the teas that are, part of the goddess tea, because it has really been helpful for me, especially just with my acne. I got to a point that I'm like, okay, enough is enough. I have to figure out what's going to cure my acne, or at least improve it. And the goddess tea has definitely been part of my regimen. Is part of the CeraVe. Drinking more water, rest, releasing stress. So there's a combination of different things that has really helped with my acne. And I would just love to hear you all's opinions and stories and how you have suffered through acne, if you have, how you found different ways to help improve it. How many years did it take? What products did you use? What techniques did you use? So I would just love to hear how you handled and managed your acne, because I'm still managing mine. So it is not, I still have, little breakouts here and there. So it's not, just smooth, bumpless skin at all. So it's not there, but it is improved from, 4 or 5 months ago. And I'm still on that journey. And, after chemical peels, and I'm going to share that as well, because I've had several chemical peels. So several chemical peels later, drinking the goddess tea, and just, drinking more water, rest, releasing stress, all of these things. It took so many different things just to get my skin to where it is right now. And I'm going to continue those things, because I don't want to backtrack. I don't want my skin to go back to where it was 4 or 5 months ago. But I would just like to hear your story. What has been your journey, and what has been a way that you have improved your acne, if you do suffer from acne. And as always, this is the Black Educated Tea Podcast.